Very unlucky. Let's get this one on then. Your commentators, Sid Waddell and Dave Lanning.
Phil Taylor here, a superstar in a city of shooting stars. And once again, we have a replay of that memorable 2004 World Final. Taylor just edging that one, squeaking it. And Painter hasn't really been able to recapture that kind of sizzle that he had in that final since.
Absolutely. The arch back was going perfect. He got the 4-1 against Taylor, who was out the back screaming, I can't take it, I'm retiring, I want to be a pop singer, anything but this. And Eddie Cox, Willie Pierce said, I know fat lady singing, the rest is darting history. He came back and came back and came back. And Kevin was as sick as a parakeet on a perch. Mind, they did have a bit of a argy-bargy here 5 years ago about the Taylor standing too close to his heels, the exclusion area. So there's not much love lost. There's a lot of respect. I think that was in the interview there, particularly by Painter.
So in Las Vegas, the town where they're currently starring indoor skydiving, and we've got air-conditioned car parking. Now they have Phil Taylor with the throw in this first round match.
And I would call that gesture, that sort of knuckle tap, perfunctory. And I hate to take exception to what Taylor said earlier, but I think he is better, and he's trying to get better. It Bolton the other week, a 9-darter, June the 7th, at 137, then 114.5 average, which is the biggest we've ever had in years of the PDC. And then he lost to Barney. He also has... Give it up for this one! Taylor has an understacker, his new shot, as Gabriel Lewis, a dipper to the top, which is an amazing shot for a bloke who's only 5'8". Right. This will be classical.
Well, they're rolling some pretty heavy dice early on. That was an unlucky turn for Phil Taylor. What happened there? Went in the corner, dropped out, no question.
Yeah, Painter, of course, in 2001 in Ireland.
100.
Tip Taylor out of the World Grand Prix. Was the first time Taylor being beaten for nearly 2 years in major PDC events. And who'd have thought, Dave, on or about February the 20th, that we'd see him with these new darts better than ever. Better than ever! Dixon, he's worth it.
Well, they're certainly slinging some heavy leather here early on. Both have hit a 180. And Philip Taylor on 141. With the throw, treble 21st dart. Treble 19 should be the target. Treble 10 has a single.
109.
Here we go then.
Kevin, you require 161.
He's going to need it. Taylor on a 1-darter. And the averages have just gone through the roof. Taylor averaging 117 to Painter's 103.
95.
We haven't seen much more than a 97 up to now, and that was only ephemeral. Double 16 for a 13-darter. Now this was what he couldn't get in the first 4 weeks of the league. The feather, that's the shot he could not do for the first 4 weeks of the Premier League last in February. He couldn't get the weight right down that corner. Has he ever got it right now, Dave?
Well, he'll certainly feel a lot happier with his finishing, because it was a precision shot with the second dart. And for all Painter's aggression and positive attitude, he's down. And again, you know, that first dart doesn't look too secure in the target sit.
Well, that's what stymied him in the first 4 weeks of the Premier League. He was averaging something like 94, and he had the weight wrong. But then he shortened the dart, he thinned the dart, and the rest is history. Blitzed everybody! End average in the league, 103.7 over 10 matches. 113 plays, 106. Rubber darts, as Brizzy says.
Yes, and Phil Taylor's dart 26 grams, which is one of the more heavier of the sets in the big time. By comparison, Painter, who's a taller, bigger, more powerful looking guy, 19 grams. So you can see the difference in weights in the darts. But Taylor's, of course,
79.
absolutely sing.
He has been averaging at times in the league for 5 weeks. He was averaging 107. He's got that just a bit too high. He can touch the tension. They know there's not much love lost between these two, and they know that Taylor is on an ascending trajectory of achievement since the 2nd of February this year. The facts and stats prove it. He's rarely been below 104 in tournaments.
45.
Well, Philip Taylor's finished here with 168, which is a bogey number, but Painter also can't finish on 177.
He should be the England captain. I talk about him in the same breath as Babe Ruth and Don Bradman and the immortal Pele.
90.
Name another single champion in sport who has achieved as much. Double 60. Magic! Taylor on an average of 111.
And that's the way he finished the second leg. And comparing him to the greats of sports, it's a very fair analogy with Bradman. Bradman, of course, finished with an average double, test average double anybody else, and Taylor has won the World Championship twice as many times as anybody. So it's a pretty fair comparison. Painter knows he's in with a very big hitter.
Is he ever?
60.
Come a long way since Bristow spotted the talent when he was making 54 quid a week, making toilet chain handles. And he's never flushed with success. That was impressive before. He's dedicated himself for the next 5 years to take this game to the very acme.
140.
Well, of course, when you look at it, if he's averaging 114 as he was once in the Premier League, an opposition player's really got to look at hitting 12 dart finishes the whole time to live with it. Here are the averages, and you can see there Painter 95 is respectable enough, but
I mean, he's won about 8 of the Players' Championships with averages of 105. There's still a big sporting press sort of value judgment against blokes with tattoos who speak with funny accents.
140.
This is sporting poetry. 100 average, and he's not in the game.
164 for Phil Taylor. Needs 2 trebles to start with. Should tidy up. Painter's on 161. That's a big finish too.
Remember Shane Burgess saying, yeah, he gives you chances. 170.
161.
153. Gotta take shots like this. The minimum ask. Colossal. Like trying to build the 4th bridge with matchsticks and glory.
99.
Double 12 for 3-0 for Phil Taylor, bidding for his 4th Las Vegas Desert Classic title, right on the wire. Got to come down the bed.
Under dipper. That's the shot! But Adrian said that's the new shot. He's developed that in the last 5 months. An under dipper shot thrown 3 inches above the eye line. He defies the laws of physics. Watch.
And all Painter can do is merely acknowledge and applaud there back of stage. He knows that was a very special shot.
180.
Is responding. Bit out of the crowd. Who are sitting there like watching Rodin ask for his mallet and his chisel. Taylor, darts' very own thinker.
Yes, and it has to be said, this first day crowd here in Las Vegas is just about the best we've seen in this tournament. These crowds here, well, of course, notoriously take a little bit of time to get into the mood, but we really started swinging right from day one here.
Yeah, posted intent of the weekend, Taylor. Took the field apart, about 250 of the lads won that tournament. Those blokes in the couple of days after hitting 9 darters. I bet Taylor's very near a 9 darter this week. I bet Barney is, and I bet James Wade is as well. They're my 3 to watch through till Sunday. And the big dance here in Vegas.
140.
Yes, there are some big dice being thrown. In fact, there's some big cards being played. Over 30 polo championships going on in Vegas currently. And one of the contestants is our chum Steve Davis, who's in town.
Thought you sit there and sucked, yeah? Treble 80.
90.
Tremendous averages. 107 plays 112. Top of the milk. Darts here in Elvistown, USA. Double swell for it. Yeah, gives a bit of applause. That hanging in with Odin, boss of the Thunderbolt. Philip Power, Tungsten Taylor.
107 averages from Painter just by our log, and he's still 3-1 down. Tells its own story. There they are.
John Part, who won the video championship in 1994, 6-0 against Bobby George. He averaged about 88 in the final with a 64% checkout.
60.
You couldn't win a pub match with that sort of stuff now. Look at that Taylor average. It shows demolition of the trebles and then the doubles when requisite. You've got to give it a Painter there. He's still in this match. That's the undershot again.
140.
That is one of the most accurate pieces of sport you'll ever see, where he put the last dart. Painter striving might and main from Daventry. Fabulous match.
Yes, of course, that shot from Phil Taylor, as we again look at those averages. Taylor only had about a third of the treble bed, and the treble bed's about the size of a cigarette's filter tip. That gives you some idea of scale.
Yeah. And Taylor sure smoking here. Tungsten.
134.
Beauties down there into the cover. And his average is approaching the PDC world record. He is 0.23 below it. 140.3. Magnificent Taylor.
Watsonian piece of knowledge and research from Sid Waddell there. And Taylor on 127 here. Go for 20s, because a single will still leave him a shot. You see, treble 19 would leave the ball.
$99.
Leaves him double 14 when he goes, and Painter's a long way back.
$82. Phil, you require
double 14 then. For the power, the red bit, middle of the bed. Now, can he do it sideways, Dave? Can he wiggle it through? Impossible now. Has to go high or low. Has to go north or south.
Game Sean the Pitney.
Again.
Phil Taylor.
He's breaking the laws of physics.
6 leg. Good
That
Kevin
is
to throw
a
first.
sideways dipper.
Game
How
on.
did he make that go in?
Well, hate to say it, Sid, but as you said, it's impossible. Nothing's impossible with Phil Taylor in this particular mood. Really is impressive.
140.
Average down to 110 now. Plays 101. Painter averaging 101 and is not in the hunt.
The interesting thing, of course, about the averages, as you said, Taylor absolutely plummeting down to 109. But every time we have a dart at a double, which is 32 or 28, it brings his average down. Yet he hits the dart first time.
135.
Statistics